Hey guys, episode 4 of the conversion of this Horsebox into our farm store. We're almost there. I got to get lights in it, get it out onto the road and start selling produce. So hope you enjoy this episode. Let's get into it. I'm going to get back to getting some power in here so we can get these lights working. I bought one of these cheap 30 watt, 30 amp charge controllers. These are like 18 bucks, super cheap, but they do the trick. They're pretty reliable, very reliable from what I hear, for what they are. So cheap, perfect for this. I'm just gonna run some lights, maybe charge a phone while we're out there. And I'm gonna get that hooked up, and then I've got some brackets where I'm gonna put these not so great Coleman 100 watt solar panels on the roof and ship that power down to the battery so we can charge the batteries, and we'll just kind of monitor how it goes, because up where it's going to be, we're going to be selling stuff, is kind of shady, and these solar panels don't work well in shade. They're not split cell like the ones on the roof. They'll charge on a overcast day. So yeah, once we've got that done, once we've got that done, we're pretty much ready to start putting stuff in here and move it up to the top of the property. It's going to take us a while to really stock this out because the produce hasn't really matured and grown yet. So we don't have any tomatoes, we don't have much of that, but we have carrots, we have flowers, we have other stuff we're going to sell. So yeah, I think we're going to call this rhubarb, because our plan is to call the store Rhubarb and Custard. I'm not sure if I shared the reasoning behind that. Part of the reasoning is that growing up in England, we had lots of custard, and Rhubarb and Custard was an old cartoon. It was a dog and what was it? I forget. Rhubarb was maybe a rabbit, and Custard was a dog. And it's just a kind of like scribble art cartoon. So growing up in the UK, if you're from the UK, you'll understand what that is. If you're from Canada, you have no idea the reference to the cartoon. But what we were thinking of doing was creating a recipe that included rhubarb, because we have lots of rhubarb on this farm, and custard and crumble, and selling it. And we thought Rhubarb and Custard is kind of a quaint, quirky name. The way I've named bands, I've named our band, I've named companies. I really enjoy getting off on naming, branding things, because I don't know, kind of my brain thinks like that. And when I think of a brand or something that sticks in your head, it's kind of a little bit quirky. It's got to be a little bit different. If we called it Sage Farm Store, well, there's a million things that sound like that, hippy dippy names. If you call it something that's a little bit weird and people kind of say, why do they call it Rhubarb and Custard? Then you're starting a conversation, right? And so to get people to talk about something, you name things a little bit weird. Like my construction company is called Little Star Renovations. People always ask me, why'd you call it Little Star? You're a bigger company. Shouldn't it be Big Star? And I'm like, that's exactly why I called it Little Star. So that it's kind of under the radar, humble, kind of a little bit whimsical. And people are talking about it. Why Little Star? If it was called Big Star Construction, it wouldn't be a conversation, because it's all on the floor, on the table for everyone. So anyway, I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but Rhubarb and Custard is the name that's sticking at the moment. I'm going to get to work unpacking this, trying to hook this up. Electrical is not my strong suit, but gotta do it. You gotta do it. Got my glasses, got my thing, and yeah, let's get to it. So I've got these batteries there. I don't know why I bought them. They're actually meant for a golf cart or a small something or other. 20 amps, pretty low, but they are lithium ion. So we'll see how these do. They might not be enough juice. They might crap out after a while, but I'll try them for now, and if not, I'll put a bigger battery in. But first thing is to hook the batteries up to the charge controller, and then from there you hook the panels up to the charge controller. It's kind of counterintuitive to the way my brain works, is that a lot of time positive is black, and white in my brain. What positive is always black, negative is always black, and white would be ground, but I don't know. Okay, we got that one. Any distractions? Ow. All right, we got display. 13.5 volts. Batteries, the way it works is the battery says 12.8 volts here. They always put out slightly more, I think, because it's reading 13.5 volts. So I got power coming from the battery to a load. Now I need to hook up the next part, which is solar panels, and that will then be charging the battery. So, all right, so I've got a switch hooked up here. That on, and then I notice there's a load switch here. So let's see if we've got lights. Yeah, we got lights, so that's good. I did something right. But my thinking is, what's the point in having a switch there when I can just do this? Off, on. So I might simplify and just run it straight to here, and just bypass the switch, and we can just reach under and press this for power. That's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so bypass the switch. This now activates the lights. So that's working. Little fuse panel here. Didn't need as many. Obviously, I don't think I'll be using all those, but it's worth doing. And next project is to get the solar panels on the roof and get some feed so we can get these batteries on charge. So I'm gonna turn this off to save power and move outside. Great little brackets. And all these solar panels seem to come with holes that match up. So these go like this, and then I can drill down into the roof. These solar panels are only 5.8 amps, so pretty low, 100 watts. Thankfully, the holes are already there. All right, now we can slap these on the roof. One, so I need to go positive from one into the negative to the other, and then that positive will go to the battery, and then the negative to positive, negative goes to the battery. All right, so the ones I gave you are this long, which is gonna be disaster. But I've got a whole bunch of these short guys because my roof membrane is very, very thin. So I'm gonna use these, and you can see that there's a rubber grommet here. But unless that's going directly on the roof, it's not gonna do what it's supposed to do. So I'm gonna probably, I don't know if I can take these rubber grommets off. Yeah, I can weasel these off and put it underneath the bracket. I'll show you in a minute. But I'm also going to use some gutter sealant. I've marked the holes. I'm going to put a dab there for double protection. All right, so one done, and then maybe it would be smart to keep these apart so I can access up the middle. There's thinking. Okay, so here we go. 2 solar panels on the roof. Now we got to go back down, hook them up, and hopefully they're pulling charge. It is an overcast day today, so we'll see. All right, so panels are wired in parallel. I think it's parallel. So we went negative to positive, and then this is the positive feed from one panel, positive to negative, whatever. And this is the positive from the other panel. So now I'm going to drill a hole through here, poke the wires through, hook it up, and hopefully we have a presto moment. Before we do that, I'm going to check with this. So we put one crocodile clip there, one crocodile clip there, and we've got a green light, if you can see that. That means that those panels are pulling charge. This is a great little tester that usually comes with most panels. Great to kind of keep in your electrical box for checking things are working. Here we got our two wires coming in, and these are going to go up to the charge controller. So I was just thinking as I was working, as Harley Davidsons drove by, you probably heard it, how much I don't really pay attention to it anymore. When I first moved here, it was just nothing but a aggravation. All I could hear was the traffic, because I guess I had it in my mind that we were going to be just hearing birds all day long in nature. But got used to it, and you know, we wouldn't be making this farm store if we lived down some end of nowhere road, because no one would come by. So the added benefit is we can hopefully get some customers. So there we go. We got pulling charge from the panel. When I hit this switch here, the lights go on. So charge coming into battery, battery delivering power to our lights. Voila! Pretty rewarding. Now I'm just going to tidy this up, a couple brackets, and she's done. Done like dinner. I might strap these to the thing so when we drive it doesn't slip all over the place, but pretty cool, pretty satisfying. I'll show you at night because it'll look pretty sweet. Here's our little tea lights, whatever you call them, tiki lights.